Gemini, hi. I'm going to do a general reading today. As it's a general reading, it may not resonate for everyone. If it does for you, however, I will be doing an extended reading, and the information for that is in the box below. Also, just a bit of announcements. I am open for personal readings now for requests through the email, and the information is in the bottom at the box below. Also, just to let you know, I'm doing love readings now once a week by the element, and I'm also doing soulmate reading and a prosperity reading once a week. All right, so let's get started here. Okay, so I'm starting off with a Celtic Cross for your general reading, Gemini, and we'll see what comes up for you. You never know with general readings. So whatever comes up usually is kind of what, people need to hear the most. Okay, just to let you know that the Queens and Kings and the male and female cards are not gender related, but refer to the divine masculine and feminine energies and that are in everybody, right? Okay, so from the universe we got the Chariot, and I'll just do a clarifier on that. I will be doing more clarifiers and also bringing in some cards from the universe as well, some oracles. Okay, so the Chariot, I think, what I see happening here, and this is kind of information from the universe, is that you've kind of stopped resisting change and movement, and therefore the Chariot that has been kind of pushing its way, pushing your life forward in a way that now turns it into action around something that you've been put out a long time ago, like could even be a couple of years ago, and now it's time for it to actualize. And now what I see is the Five of Swords on there. So I feel like you've put down your resistance and your defenses around it, and you're more in line with the Chariot and that motion now. So kind of wanting it to happen. And I can see why, because the Four of Pentacles, which is above you now, and it's an energy that's affecting you. And I think it's a different perspective for you in what you want to build the foundation for the next part of your life on. I think that's what the motivation is here for the Chariot, to bring change into your life. In the past, you've got the Death card, so that explains why, as I say, your resistance is now, you're going, okay, I want this. I'm not going to be defensive. I'm not going to resist it. And I think it's because that there's been an ending, because you've got the Fool on you now, which is the beginning of the new journey. It's the first card in the Major Arcana. And so it's kind of, the Major Arcana is more kind of divinely guided, whereas the Minor Arcana is more every day to day, kind of our part that we play in conjunction with, with the Major Arcana. So you've got the Fool on you now and the Hierophant. So we've got these, in fact, 4 of these cards are all Major Arcana, 5 of them with the Chariot. So what I see is, with this kind of new beginning, we've got the Hierophant on top there, the Hermit, Ten of Swords. So I think what's happened and why you're not defensive and resistant any longer, because we got the Ten of Swords on you now. And so I think it's you're coming out of a period where you felt really disappointed, disillusioned, and consequently, but the point is, you made it through, okay? And because and now you made it through to the next stage of what's coming up for you. And with that knowledge and with what you kind of learned there, I see you, having learned a lot about who you are and what your values are, and it readied you for this change, because you got the Hangman also above you, which it's your perspective of things and your ability to persevere has been shifted now. And so I see you now clearly lighting up the path where you want to go towards what's true for you, with the Hierophant showing up there. Then we got the Nine of Pentacles at the base, and you're coming from a place, I think, more than ever, you're feeling quite secure in who you are, in your what you've created up to now, and you're ready now to take it to the next level. And you've got the Ten of Swords here, so it's kind of decision making time. And then we've got the Page of Wands. So I think what you're doing with the Eight of Wands also showing up in the near future, and the Page of Wands down here, is you're putting kind of information out there. You're sending messages out there, not just to the universe, but out there, period. So maybe through emails, maybe talking to people on the phone, seeing people. You're putting these messages out now that you're ready for your new path, and you're really ready for what's right for you. And then you're kind of holding your position, the Page of Wands, and you're waiting to hear back from these messages. And then you've got the Two of Swords. So this is part of your decision-making process, is to communicate, put it out there, and then wait for messages to come back to you. And then, because you've got the Page of Swords here too, and then make your moves. You've got the King of Wands showing up there too, and the Seven of Cups. So I think the Seven of Cups is like a lot of things in your life in terms of creativity, in terms of things you love, passions, things that are close to your heart. There's a renewal that's happened. Something has shifted in that area too, because there's been a renewal with this Death card happening, death of the past, beginning of the new. So you're in a different stage, and with that comes a lot of change. A lot of it is already starting to become evident. And I think this shift for, as I say, movement is one of them. So it's over the King of Wands, which is you kind of firmly on, wanting to be on your path. Like, that's one thing that you really want out of all this, is you want to know that, good, I feel comfortable now, I'm on my path. And as I said, you're really in that way going after it. Then you've got the Page of Sword and the Horned One showing up here, which is kind of the Devil card. And I'll draw some clarifiers on that. And we've got the Nine of Wands and the Four of Wands showing up. So with the Page of Swords, as I say, as much as you're putting things out and getting messages back, going back and forth through communication, you're also waiting for signs to show. I'll clarify that. Because you're ready for commitment to this new place in your life. It's a place of, the Queen of Cups is motherhood. It's a place of creativity, nourishment, nurturing, and it's a place that's ready for solid long-term commitment in those directions. And then you've got the Devil showing up with the Four of Wands and the Nine of Wands. It's been a really hard battle to get to where you've gotten to. As I say, you have the Ten of Swords, a lot of disappointment. But out of that disappointment, you persevered, you kept working on it, working on it, working on it. And as a result, a lot of change in you has emerged, a lot of growth in you in terms of what you want now. And therefore able to, as I say, not resist the change anymore. Because once again, you're ready for commitment for the long term. And you want less chaos, you want less stress, you want kind of more abundance and tranquility and harmony in your life. And you want it to happen in this lifetime on Earth here. And I think that's where the Devil card's coming in, because you've got the Intuitive card here too. So intuitively, you know that it's something you want to build in a very material way. This is about building it here in a material way. All right. So you've got the Five of Pentacles, and then you've got the Ten of Wands. And I was kind of waiting for that card, for the Ten of Wands to show up, because it fits with what we're talking about here. So with the Five of Pentacles, it's all the same thing. It's like you want to start to begin to build abundance that's going to last in your life, because with all of the growth and with who you've become today and what your situation's like today as a result of what you've gone through, you're ready to put down roots and take that growth that I say was hard, hard come by, and take it and build a construct, a structure with it. So this is in the material world again, because you're tired of moving around, you're tired of not connecting to anything for any length of time. So you want commitment, and you want physical commitment, you want to stay put. And then with the Page of Cups showing up, is that and the Four of Swords that I drew on that, and this is in your environment. So I feel like, it's been a long winter, okay? It's been a long winter. And I don't mean that, I mean that metaphorically as well as literally. And as a result of it, you did a lot of ideas and thoughts kind of came to you around what you want to commit to. And what I see happening here now is you, as the Page of Cups showing up here, new ideas are already coming your way around that, about being able to be, kind of aligned with, your heart, and you're kind of excited and passionate about this change that's coming in your life. Three of Pentacles showing up. So in a position of your hopes and fears is you really, once again, this is so important. You got 2 3s here. You really want to build something that is, harmonious, and you want to build it together with, people that have the same beliefs as you. So you want something that, is going to stand in harmony again, okay? And something, so you've been doing a lot of thinking about that, and that's in position of what you want. Because coming out of this Ten of Swords, as I say, you kind of know what it's like when that's not lined up, because you know what that feels like. It's very chaotic and stressful and, disappointing and disillusioning and all that kind of stuff. And you as much as you went through that and came out of it, you don't want that again. So you're trying to figure out a way, how can I build my future in a more solid way that is more in line with what I want, what I desire in my life, that you've identified here back in the Four of Swords line. And also identified back here, you're tired of just moving for the sake of moving, having movement for the sake of having movement. You want purpose now. Okay, and then we got the Three of Wands. So what I see coming out of all this is that with this death and this kind of, new proposition in your life showing up with the Seven of Cups, all new things that are possible, it's opened your world up in a different way. So you may be even thinking about all kinds of things that could happen beyond the restricted boundaries upon which you once used to think about. So it's much wider now in kind of all areas of your life, and specifically to do with what you're thinking about now, as I say, which is about committing to a connection, a place where you can put down roots, okay? And that can be metaphorically too. All right, I'm going to leave it at that, Gemini, and I'm going to draw a card from the Wisdom of Avalon, and we've got the Stag here. Now the Stag is a bit like the Eight of Wands here. I mean, that, as you can see, they both have kind of the deer in it. And so it's really about finding, now, if you look at the Eight of Wands, it's looking for a place that you can bring your herd and be there, whether it's to be, to feed there, to hunt there, to build there, to have the babies there, that kind of thing, which is what the deer are doing here. And so with the Stag, this is about pride and leadership. So calling in your herd, and that's what I see with the Eight of Wands, putting the messages out there and waiting for things to come back, but definitely calling in your herd and gathering up and finding that place where you can, kind of call home, all right, which is what they've done in the Eight of Wands. All right, I'm going to leave it at that. As I say, I'm doing an extended reading on the outcome cards, and we'll take a look at where this might be and what might be opening up for you. And other than that, I'll see you next week. All right.